Welcome to Passages, the podcast where life gets deep, friendship gets real, and the wisdom of the Bible flows, usually right after a debate about tacos and Bigfoot. Join Patrick Birch, Drew Kaiser, Jason Pulliam, and Tim Layton as they explore Scripture, share great quotes, and occasionally get sidetracked by snacks and bad preachers.
All right, hit it.
We're live?
I think so.
Okay.
We'll find out.
Here we go. You're listening to Passages. We're back after a holiday hiatus, and we're really excited because this is episode 99.
99?
99, right before
Anybody-
what comes next? 100?
Nobody got that?
No.
Was that
Really?
Is that like 6, 7?
pop culture reference?
Guys, Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Oh, I've heard of that.
I've seen it.
Come on.
I've also heard of Jimmy Stewart. Tim, I could have used you that last
I
episode.
heard about
Man,
that. Yes.
they've never seen It's a Wonderful Life. They've never heard of Jimmy Stewart.
Can I just clarify? Nobody said anything bad about White Christmas, right?
No, I don't think so.
I may
think
have
he
talked
might
about
had a
that.
heretic over there on the end.
I
Wait,
may have mentioned
wait.
that you drug us to the Alabama theater to see it.
Tim, are you admitting that you didn't listen to episode
we
98?
we already know that.
Tim has not listened to episode 1.
That's part of his magic.
Yeah.
That's his
I'm
process.
planning a road trip to Alaska. I'm going to listen to the whole thing.
You don't want to do that, believe me. Well, before we get too far, I want to mention our sponsors in the plural. We have two sponsors
Two
tonight
sponsors.
that help make this podcast possible. First, looking for books that deepen faith and spark meaningful discussion. At Riddle Creek Publishing, we create biblically based study guides, Christian fiction, and youth resources to help teens and adults engage Scripture in fresh, practical ways. From adult Bible studies and teen lessons to publishing consultation, Riddle Creek is with you every step of your journey. Discover free downloads, podcasts, and more at riddlecreekpublishing.com, where faith meets thoughtful learning and storytelling. And coming soon from Riddle Creek, Andy Kaiser's new book, I Want to Go to Heaven. Rooted firmly in Scripture, this thoughtful work explores what God Himself says about heaven and why our longing for it should shape the way we live today. A clear, faithful guide from a veteran gospel preacher. I Want to Go to Heaven, coming out very soon. And then,
Drew, that was pretty, that was incredible.
well, it wasn't off the cuff.
It was AI generated.
Yeah.
It might have had a little help, but you didn't have to say that.
Well, I was
But
just
it's
guessing.
not time
Was
that
I wrong?
do justice to
Yeah.
our biggest sponsor.
Our platinum sponsor.
Now, this next sponsor is a new one. It's not a platinum sponsor.
Okay.
I don't even know if I would say it's nickel or
Plastic.
tin.
The
Tin-
plastic
tin-
sponsor.
Plastic
Tinfoil.
sponsor. We made a mistake
Paperclip
talking about
sponsor.
sponsors, and we were kind of making a joke that anybody can sponsor. You don't have to be a business. I forgot exactly how we put it. But this person gave me $1 and said he wanted to buy some airtime.
Well, you've already given him too much for that.
So here's what $1 buys you on the Passages podcast. Today's episode is sponsored by Joel Henry and his potentially helpful advice service and his new line of savory smoked salmon soda. Have a situation in life that you need advice from an unbiased source? One simple email to Joel's Advice and Smoked Salmon Soda at gmail.com will provide advice that may or may not be helpful to your situation, but it is guaranteed to be advice. Have a craving for a thirst-quenching soda that tastes of a savory smoked salmon fillet? One email to Joel's Advice and Smoked Salmon Soda at gmail.com will solve that problem for you. Again, that's, and he instructed me to spell it out. JoelEssadviceSmokkedSalmonSoda at gmail.com.
Do you think he really registered that? He really made that name? I'm going to email him right
I'm
now.
going to say yes.
I'm not finished with the ad.
Oh, okay, go on.
Please don't-
I think
Sorry. I thought
we're
we were-
over $1.
Yeah, I thought we were done.
Please allow 2 to 5 business days for advice and an unknown time frame for the salmon soda, as it is currently in development.
Salmon soda.
If your plans are trash and you need a voice, Joel's Advice, the smarter choice.
Wow. For
Okay,
a dollar,
thank you.
though, for a dollar, wouldn't it be salmon soda? I'm just asking.
Absolutely.
A dollar does not buy you
out,
salmon.
It's coming out of that red
It
tin.
is, and you're
That's how
frying it on
that's how it's spelled.
frying it on an electric griddle.
Tell you what.
Guys,
Patties. Dip it in some ketchup.
Yep.
what is salmon soda?
It's
I think
it's an under development right now.
Okay,
We're not
okay.
exactly
That's
sure
not a
what it
real
is.
thing, all right?
Yeah,
well, it
not yet.
soon will be.
But with the power of this podcast, watch out, world.
So anyway, we need to make some sponsorship tiers and maybe the lowest rung somewhere around $25, something
Yeah.
a little more respectable.
Yeah.
Nothing against the dollar bill,
So
but
that may be until he gets out of development. That may be the last time we hear from that
Well,
particular business. But
he may have given me $5 and told me he wanted 5 ads. So
Wait. 5, he thinks $5 equals 5 ads?
well, again, we didn't specify, and this is
I mean,
the
if you
problem.
want that
We're
many
learning
ads,
as we go.
We're specifying now.
If you get that many ads, you've got to sponsor like penalties or something like that to get your name mentioned. That
I
many
also
times.
think that we should charge extra for the number of letters in your email address.
Ooh, now that's a good one. That would generate some
Yeah.
revenue on this.
Joel would owe us $1,000.
You would.
only to be worsened with an extra surcharge if he used AOL.com.
I guarantee you, though. I guarantee
Or
you,
Yahoo.
I guarantee
Sorry,
you,
Tim.
when he drinks his salmon soda, his pinky's out though, because if you say salmon, you got to have that pinky out when you're drinking.
Maybe he
highfalutin.
intends salmon. He didn't put a pronunciation guide on here. So
Wait a minute. Do we think he is he's stolen his salmon soda recipe?
I don't know. He wasn't counting on fact checker over here to
Yeah, I don't know. Is
crunch
it
the
like?
numbers.
I mean, a question is, would it be like, I don't know, maybe movies circa 2005, where if the neighbors, the FBI shows up at the neighbor's house, then you know it's time to get out of there.
Oh, I'm starting to get a little inside
Yeah.
ball there.
Well, salmon soda was a real thing.
Really?
Yeah, famously produced by Jones Soda Company in the mid 2000s, so 2005.
They're the ones that do all the interesting flavors.
Yeah,
Ugh.
meant to mimic the taste and smell of smoked salmon.
You can
Okay.
have that.
Even its
Yeah.
creator found it challenging to drink.
I bet.
Okay,
All right.
so this is what we're going to say. If Joel wants another commercial
Mhm.
spot on this podcast, he has to come drink a salmon soda.
All right.
I mean,
Can you still? Well, he needs to bring from his own.
yeah, he'll have to bring his own, Yeah.
factory.
Yeah.
right?
All right.
From the Henry Soda Company.
You throw down the challenge, he'll probably take you up on it.
Oh,
Well, let's move on.
I don't know.
We've
if I
given
can, I really
this
don't
company,
know if I can be there for that. That's going to be gross.
We've given this company way more than they paid for.
Well, I'm going to give another company some free advertisement real
right.
quick. Patrick, if you don't mind hitting the little commercial I sent you. You've all seen this commercial, I'm sure. I see it at least 6 times a night while watching a TV show.
And Doug.
There it is, Limu, the 50-yard line.
They're parachuting in. You can see it, I guess.
Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance.
If you're watching it on YouTube,
To
right?
save people hundreds! Whoa. Ah. Looks like we're walking.
All right, you can kill it there.
That Doug,
Doug, such a character.
so funny.
Well, guys, what was a commercial has now happened in real life at and I think this is kind of humorous, the Armed Forces Bowl had a jump team of not amateur, but veteran parachutists from the military, an all veteran group parachuting team were trying to land before the annual bowl game in Fort Worth, Texas. While 4 of the parachutists landed safely, one skydiver had to change course and another skydiver veered towards the netting. So what happened is 3 of the guys landed in the stadium. One of them landed outside of the stadium, and the last guy Well, he got hung up on the goalpost, the netting around the goalpost.
Oh,
And
no.
he
And
took
then
a pretty nasty
He
drop,
took a
right?
pretty nasty fall. And if you haven't seen it, it just looks uncomfortable. Oh, there he is.
Right.
Oh.
He's good for
And
a
then
moment,
he's okay,
right? And then he's
and
not.
then we're going to fall. Boom.
Ooh, right
So,
into the stands.
When I saw this ad, the first thing I thought was of Limu Emu and Doug parachuting into the stadium. So their advertising is working because I remembered their commercial. But can you imagine at the Armed Forces Bowl, you have a group of veteran skydivers going to jump into the stadium, bringing in flags. I think the flags were of the branches of the armed forces. And we can't pull that off. Guys,
There's a lot of variables involved in.
well, I mean, yes. I mean, in Normandy,
hard to land a
when they were
parachute on
trying
a
to
dime.
land the parachutes and gliders over there, people were dispersed everywhere. But we're talking about a veteran group of these guys landing in something the size of a stadium, and we can't pull
And
that off.
Three got it done. What
Now,
happened
they
to you,
said-
number 4?
Now, they said there were 12-mile-an-hour winds, which I would think would create some problem. And I bet the winds swirl when you get into the stadium. But I would not want to be the guy that got hung up on the guide wire.
No.
But I would rather than that not be the guy that landed outside of the stadium and he's like walking in, dragging his parachute with him. Like, well, that didn't work out very well.
We know a few weeks ago, we went to Montgomery to see the Troy Jack State game, and it also had like a military theme. It was, I think it was about honoring veterans, or I don't remember exactly the name of the bowl. But they had the guys parachuting in. It was an 8:00 kickoff. So it is pitch dark and everybody's looking up trying to see, so they're telling us, the plane is overhead and, the guys are jumping out. You can't see anything and you're waiting. And finally you see, sort of these little white dots of the parachutes. And, there were 4 or 5 of them and all of them showed up except one of them, I think was about a city block away.
Oh, no.
He landed, as I understand it, like on the baseball field. Which was
Maybe that's just the percentage. You get 75% of your parachuters.
Maybe jumping out of an airplane and landing where you want to land is harder than
now the last
you-
one that
you
came
would
in
think.
with the big American flag behind him.
Yeah.
Place goes wild. It was
Yeah.
awesome, right?
Yeah, they did not give that to the rookie to do that.
no,
right,
the guy who lands on the baseball field doesn't get to.
But
It's
I'm
easy
just
for
telling
us
you.
to sit here and Monday morning quarterback the parachuter, but
Yeah.
I bet it's a challenge.
But if I'm organizing this, I don't want the Temu version of skydivers landing in my stadium.
no,
And each one that came down, they were like, "This is his 574th jump or whatever." I mean, they were
not
experienced.
his first rodeo.
Yeah.
Anyway, have any of y'all gone
Never skydived,
skydiving?
No,
It's on my bucket list of things to try.
not on mine.
Nope. Not unless the plane's going down. I just no desire.
I just think it would be such a rush. My luck, though, I would have packed the chute wrong.
Well, in your first few, I don't think you're doing any of the
Yeah,
chute packing.
You just go,
I have
That's what
done
you hear at
indoor
the end.
skydiving, and that was pretty cool,
yeah.
but also basically not dangerous at all.
Did you do that in Atlanta, like the place right off the interstate or whatever?
No, but it
There's
was
a
the same place, just not in it.
Not the Atlanta
Yeah, it was the
version of
same. It was the same place, just not in
Franchise.
Atlanta. Yeah.
Did you have to wear that funny suit?
Mhm. Yeah, they
Okay.
put you in like
They
a
put
jumpsuit.
wind under you or something.
Yeah,
and
it's
levitate.
There was
basically
wind beneath his wings.
there was.
fly.
Basically the one I was at had 2 like turbines that set outside the building, and they shot air through and then up through a central column. So there was a net that you walked out on. Well, you could have walked on if the fan wasn't on, and they're blowing whatever 100-mile-an-hour wind or something up through the central thing there.
I may have
It was
to
pretty
give
cool.
Do that.
I may need to give that a try one day.
Yeah,
That
it was
sounds
pretty
fun.
cool.
You can get the experience without the danger.
Yep.
Or the fear.
All right, that's all I got.
Our next story comes from San Jose, California, where a mortuary allegedly gave a grieving father a bag that contained his son's brain, telling him it was his son's clothes, leading to the father dumping the brain matter into his washing machine.
What? That's not a minor mistake
No,
right there.
Not a minor mistake. The family of Alexander.
Did he wash it on cold or hot?
Well, he got it back out before once he realized that that's not a load of clothes.
Tung-kung, tung-kung, tung-kung.
The family of Alexander Pennon filed a lawsuit against Lima Family Erickson Memorial Chapel after they signed a contract with the mortuary for a $10,000 full-service memorial tribute package that included embalming, dressing, casketing, transportation of remains, and a funeral service, according to court documents. Pennon died in May. The family said that when they decided to bury Pennon in different clothes than what he died in, they requested that the funeral home give them back the clothes that he was wearing. Maybe sort of an odd request, but
I have lost my post-it note.
It got them out of their routine.
Yeah. Pennon's father reportedly met with the funeral director, Anita Singh, at the mortuary on June 4th to retrieve the clothes.
Anita Singh. That sounds like a made-up name.
Mm-hmm. Singh allegedly handed him a red bag with a biohazardous material label, which she said, can I say the word label?
Label.
Which she said contained the deceased man's clothing. The father claimed in the lawsuit that he returned home with the bag, opened up his washing machine, and dumped the contents of the bag straight into the washing machine.
Now, this is starting to sound fishy.
Or
might have smelled a little.
He dumped it out and didn't
fishy.
notice that it was a brain?
well, once he dumped it out, he did.
Oh, okay. See, from
When
the
it went
beginning, I've imagined
into the bottom of
him
the-
starting the dishwasher.
The
dishwasher.
It would
Washing
be really
machine.
weird if he was washing the clothes in the dishwasher.
The bag did not contain any clothing, but rather it only contained human brain matter, the lawsuit said. The father, quote, scooped the brain matter out of his washing machine,
Ooh.
not aware that it was his son's brain matter, and puts it back in the red bag. Pennon's family was not aware that the coroner had performed a cranial autopsy, nor that part of his brain had been removed, according to the lawsuit. Pennon's father brought the bag back to the funeral home, at which point Singh did not provide any explanation for the mix-up and didn't even give Pennon's father his son's clothes. The lawsuit claimed that Pennon's brain was left in the bag and hidden somewhere in the funeral home's courtyard for weeks for an unknown reason.
So it wasn't in a freezer or anything?
Apparently
I
not.
bet it was a bit gamey by this point.
Ooh.
You think he's thinking like, man, these clothes are kicking.
I will say that, but when I was in school and we were in the cadaver lab, the first thing you did was take the brain out and put it in a bucket that you would come back to and study during neuroscience. So, I mean, that
Is it like a Lowe's bucket or
it was basically like a
5-gallon
probably
bucket?
a 3-gallon bucket
3-gallon
with
bucket.
solution, and you just drop the brain in there.
Mm.
The funeral
Made that sound
business is a difficult business, right? But
Yeah.
there are just some mistakes you can't make.
I have questions about this story. Number one, is it really $10,000 to do a full funeral service?
Probably at least.
At least.
See, there's a sign on the trustful
Yeah.
that says $49.99, and it
that's
used to be
true.
$39.99. I guess inflation got them,
That's true, but
but
I'm just
10
gonna,
grand sounds like a lot of money.
I'm going to tell you what it's going to be like. Well, Jason, welcome in. Sure, we've got that $49.99 package for you. Now, if
It
you
involves a cardboard
right
box.
now, you're going to need to put tab A into slot B, and then we're going to put this thing together. And
Yeah.
I mean, if that's what you really want to put your loved one in, it's okay.
Now,
Or-
I would go for that.
Yeah, but will your family? That's the question.
Cassie says she's throwing me in the burn barrel in the back,
Oh.
so that may be how
That's
I go.
free.
Okay,
Yep.
number 2
Mhm.
said the family decided not to have the son buried in the clothes he died in. Isn't that pretty much common? Like a common
I'm not
practice?
sure anybody,
Is that what it said?
it did.
Yeah.
So it was as
At
if
first
to
they
begin
were
with,
going to?
right? But then they decided, we'll put a clean shirt on him.
That is odd. I
Bring
didn't
in
pick
that
up on
Scooby Doo shirt. He always liked Scooby Doo. But
That's odd.
I thought everybody got buried in clothes that they didn't
That's a good question.
die in. I mean,
Yeah.
usually at your death, your clothes are not in the best of shape.
I bet
they
there
need
are
to be
two
washed.
sides to this story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to hear.
Number
Mm.
3
Okay.
observation. If someone in any funeral home, medical office, wherever, gives you a red bag, don't open the bag. That's a biohazard bag.
I
Red
did pick
bags
up
are
on that.
biohazard bags.
It said biohazard.
Promised him it had the clothes in it. Yeah, we just grabbed. We don't have clothes bags. We just grab one of these biohazards and.
And can you not feel it until it's a squishy brain?
Right. Is there, what number are we on? 4?
Well,
Yeah,
what,
4.
What if I gave
There's a
what if I gave you a squishy brain and a load of clothes?
It should feel like a
They-
Jell-O mold.
They both squish.
Even if you're carrying it by the handle of the bag, there's a difference in the heft of a brain and a wad of clothing.
Well, it didn't say
It's
it was
just
the
gonna-
whole brain. It was just the part that they. You know.
And how do they know that it tied back
What
to
was
that
that?
person's, the son's brain?
That's the sound of
So-
a brain getting sawed off.
If a
He's
brain,
buried by
if
this
you
point,
give
right?
me 2 brains, I can't say this is Drew's brain and this is Tim's. Now, Patrick's brain, we would all know it's the big one in there.
Yeah.
But I just,
Well, maybe.
Oh,
I mean,
no.
did they use their little label? Did they
Go
make
ahead.
did they make a label maker and put
Maybe.
his brain name on it?
Maybe at the funeral they noticed that like his part was all
Well, yeah,
messed up and
Hey, he's got that
Yeah.
plastic spot
I
right
was
here.
wondering
It dents
about
in-
that.
It dents in sometimes. Messed up my part line.
I was wondering that too.
I can't go down that hill in that sled like that. It'll mess this part up where I got this plastic thing.
Oh,
Um,
that would be an awful experience. Just dropping the brain in the clothes washer would be devastating. I would have to burn
So
the
number
house down.
one,
No.
they didn't know that their son's head was opened up and they did a cranial autopsy. That seems weird. And then on top of that, it said that the brain was just left out in the courtyard. And then they gave it to them as if it were a load of clothes.
Now, you would expect buzzards to be always circling the mortuary, but I bet there were a lot of buzzards circling that one. If they just leaving folks, it's probably, was the name of the place Plots or Us? Like there's arms and stuff sticking out of the ground.
If this story is true, and I have my doubts
Yeah, it
about the
sounds-
veracity of that that angle,
I got it off the internet.
they're not
It's got to
the
be true.
they're not the only people that have been done wrong here. There have been other mistakes
yeah.
that maybe
That had
they
just
hadn't
not
got
been
caught
caught
at,
yet.
but
Right.
that's
If
that's
there's
sloppy workmanship right there.
There's probably if there's a shed out back, I'm not opening it up because there's
No.
no telling.
It-
Well,
Well, there
is
was a
back
there
there.
was a place that got in a lot of trouble over that.
yeah,
Mhm.
around here.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Drew, over to you.
That's pretty dark stuff. We
Yeah,
won't go
it's-
there. Let's lighten it up a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, this is the first podcast of the year, 2026. Yay! We should have had a sound bite ready for that.
Yeah.
But anyway, 2026. So I just thought I'd put together a little quiz here to see how well you remembered 2025. Got some highlights here, and we'll just go through it, and you guys answer the questions as they come to the best of your ability. Let's see how much you paid attention last year. All of this occurred in 2025.
Mhm.
It'll also be a way to survey the year and just remember. Who began their second non-consecutive term as president of the United States in 2025?
Trump.
That's right. How did you know that?
Oh, are we're saying
Oh,
these out
no,
loud?
yeah,
or
we're just
something?
going through them orally.
Wait,
I
you
thought
think
we were
we're
taking
going to
a
take like a,
test.
no, we're not taking
Tim
a
was
test.
I was
Tim
getting
was
so
jotting that
excited.
down.
Got
I
my-
knew I
had
saw
my number
testing.
2 pencil out.
I saw test anxiety all
I was-
over your
I
face.
was writing little bubbles on
Bonus
here.
question.
No.
Who is the only other president to serve 2 non-consecutive terms?
Grover Cleveland?
Yeah.
Right? Maybe.
I think so. I didn't know the answer to that one. I was just going
Is
to
that
throw it
right?
out there.
I think that's right. That's what I was going to answer.
I wasn't 100%.
And by
sure.
our 2 brains combined, it had to be right.
Neither of who've had a cranial autopsy.
Next.
Not yet.
What newly created government department nicknamed a chainsaw for bureaucracy was responsible for firing hundreds of thousands of federal workers in 2025?
Doge.
Doge.
Dogie.
The Department
I like
of Government
Doge.
Efficiency. Number 3, a major wildfire disaster in 2025 set a new record as one of the costliest wildfires in the U.S. history. In which city did it occur primarily?
Los Angeles.
L.A.
The City
That's
of
right.
Angels.
In September, which high-profile conservative activist was assassinated?
Charlie Kirk.
Oh, I was going to say,
Kirk,
you
not
guys,
Kirk.
come on. They get harder. So, number 5, what was the name of the nationwide protest movement involving millions of Americans against presidential policies?
Is it the,
We had one here.
the Kings one?
No Kings.
No Kings?
No Kings.
No
Right.
Kings.
And it's interesting. Those have
Good
just
job,
about
Patrick.
been forgotten, haven't they?
Yeah, that one didn't just click back to mind, but
Well,
yeah,
there's
I
been a lot of
remember.
other things that kind of take its place.
Yeah. In 2025, a historic change occurred in the Catholic Church when an American became Pope. What name did he take?
Leo.
What number? You got the number?
Oh,
Leo the. There's been a
Sixth?
lot of Leos.
Really?
The 6th?
There have been more, almost there. 14. Pope Leo the 14th.
Hmm.
Number 7. Who got engaged in August 2025, becoming one of the year's most talked about celebrity couples?
Was it that highly overrated singer?
T.
Indeed.
Swifty and Jason Kelsey.
that was Mr.
Nope.
Swift. That's Mr. Swift to you.
Travis
Travis
Kelce.
Kelsey.
Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That-
I was
that's
talking about my
Travis,
favorite Kelsey.
Travis Swift.
Travis Swift,
yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, no way she's taking his name.
Yeah.
No, but she
No.
has killed his NFL career. Down the toilet.
Father Time did that
Yeah.
too.
He's going to come back though and make a new album, and he's going to call it what did she name her album that she redid?
Taylor's
Taylor's
version.
version?
Taylor's. It's going to be which Kelsey is
Travis.
it? Travis's version.
I missed it a while
Travis's
ago.
version.
There's Jason out
Yeah,
there.
it got me all confused.
Let me save y'all by moving on to the next one.
Go for it.
Number 8. What social media app was nearly banned in 2025 but remained widely used after legal challenges and intervention?
That would be TikTok.
Tickety
And
tock.
There's no way that's going anywhere because it makes too much money.
Yeah.
The TikTok.
And
The
Trump
TikTok-
felt
the
like it
TikTok.
got him elected or helped
Yeah.
him get elected, and
Yeah.
he wasn't going to let it go.
Yeah.
Number 9, in 2025, widespread government shutdowns froze national operations. How long did this federal shutdown last?
Not long enough.
This
Broke
was,
a record.
No,
This
I'm
was
just
the
kidding.
longest one, right?
Longest
Was
one
it
in
the
history.
40s?
It's in the 40s.
46 days.
Almost 45.
Mm.
45.
I just don't like odd numbers, so I went with an even
Yeah.
one.
Number 10. What ceasefire did the U.S. help broker in October?
Israel and Palestine?
Mhm.
Yes, the Gaza temporary ceasefire. Number 11. Which late night television show was temporarily suspended in 2025 after controversy over political commentary?
Kimmel.
Kimmel. What is K-pop Demon Hunter?
I have no clue.
This is the most watched ever by a long way. Is it a TV show or a movie? I don't know. On
It's a
Netflix.
movie.
A movie
On
on
Netflix.
Netflix. It's an
Yeah.
animated movie, right?
Right. Yeah. It's there's a band that's completely virtual,
Yeah.
and they play the songs on top 40 stations. It's a big deal. Jason, you and Tim need to get with the times.
I guess we
K-pop
do.
Demon Hunter. If you have Netflix, tune it in. You got to watch it.
I don't think you'll ever have to worry about us listening. To
I didn't learn about it till my young niece and nephew came over, and they don't have Netflix, and they're like, "Uncle Drew, can you turn on K-pop Demon Hunter?" And I'd heard people talking about it before. Man, it's weird. K-pop is Korean pop music.
Mhm.
Anyway,
I thought it was a new series.
these pop
Thought it was
pop
a
stars
radio
fight
station.
demons.
K-pop.
K-pop 96.5.
Playing all the hits.
Tune it in and rip the knob off. All right, number 13. What did Kendrick Lamar wear to perform at the Super Bowl that went viral?
Who's Kendrick Lamar? Obviously a
performed at the
performer.
Super Bowl.
Performed at Super Bowl.
I don't know who he is.
Yeah.
Rapper.
I mean, I know who he is. I don't know what he
Was it
wore.
was it something
Boot
that
cut jeans.
what?
Boot cut jeans. They
Uh,
were striking.
He's probably
I'll
been
use that
watching
word.
Yellowstone too much.
I remember seeing it and thinking that's an odd choice of wardrobe.
Nah, I like a good pair of boot cut jeans. Wrangler
Now,
retro
Isn't
boot
he
cut.
the one
that's
that's
what I
like
wear.
in the war with Drake? Is that right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
It was a better wardrobe than Janet Jackson. Moving on. 14. In April, an all-female crew, including Katy Perry and Gayle King, flew in Jeff Bezos' rocket
Or
How
did
long-
they?
They did not, and they did not go to space.
We have
Next
addressed
question.
that.
Next question.
You're talking
Fake
about the
news.
newest
Fake news.
astronauts. Is that what you're saying?
How long was
Yeah.
the
Newest
flight?
astronauts.
Yeah, they didn't get off the ground.
It just says they flew in his rocket. They didn't say they went to space.
I'm just telling you right now, if the first moon landing was
I'm gonna
supposedly fake, that little
Well,
flight to
hold on,
space was
hold
totally
on.
fake.
Too far, Jason. Too far.
No.
We're not going to get to finish this story. 11 minutes.
Ah,
Number 15. What is the name of the viral collectible toys that come in boxes that everyone wanted to get their hands on this year? You know, every year there's a special toy.
is that like Funko or Fungo or no?
A Funko Pop.
No.
No.
Was it those
No,
little
it's not
stuffed animal
Cabbage Patch
pets?
dolls.
What were those things
Yes.
called?
Labubu's.
Labubu's.
Yeah.
Very
I was talking
expensive, I've
about
heard.
the
I was
old
talking about
ones.
Yeah.
Pet Rocks.
I was talking about
Beanie Babies?
Beanie Babies.
Oh,
That's what I was trying to
We're
get to.
past Beanie Babies.
Did you
All
say
right, all right.
Labubu?
Have you seen a Labubu?
Here-
Labubu.
Here is a Labubu.
That
It
looks
is-
like Labubu.
it is a
Get
little
us a price check on
it's
this,
a little
Patrick. Like how much we
yeah.
pay for a Labubu?
Are these in any way
So-
related
For
to
one?
So it's like a
Yeah.
keychain, a
yeah.
$30 keychain.
And they're like
Oh,
maybe this
yeah.
big.
Oh.
They're not huge,
Yeah.
but similar to Beanie Babies, there are some that are more collectible than others.
Some of them run over $200, I think.
Like here's one right here for $100, and
He's the farmer.
yeah, who knows why? Who knows why?
There's
no
a
one.
$200
Hey,
one.
is that the modern
Here's
version?
a $315 one.
Oh,
Holy
wow.
cow.
Old Tony Chopper.
Yeah, what is this Tony Chopper one? What's this?
Not worth $400, $300.
See,
Good
it's
grief.
just weird. I mean,
Yeah,
Is that the modern day version of the Garbage Pail Kids and meatballs that we had when we were children? Sorry, Tim, you didn't have those. We had those.
yeah.
no,
No.
Garbage Pail Kids was like a subculture. It was underground.
Wasn't where I
That
lived.
was
Yeah.
Those are the cards you'd hide in your locker.
Yeah, it and the meat. Do you remember the meatballs? They were these little Nerf
didn't do
balls
meat-
with crazy faces, like monster
Oh, I
faces.
do remember those.
Yeah, those were huge.
I forgot about those.
Yeah, you're
Man,
welcome.
You brought back a memory goes way back. Okay. Just a few more here. Justin Bieber. I just thought this one was funny. Justin Bieber created a new viral catchphrase this year. What was it? I know you.
Six,
Now, not everybody at
7.
once. Not everybody at once.
6, 7.
My mama don't like you and she likes everyone.
Here it is.
No.
It's not clocking to you that I'm standing on business, is it? If
Oh,
I've
yeah.
heard that once, I've heard that 100
man,
times.
yeah.
What does clocking to you mean?
It's not clocking to you that I'm standing on business, is it?
Is that like clock it?
We
No.
we went over a clock it.
No.
I don't know.
I forgot what it meant because it's a useless term. Which 90s rock band reunited for a tour and held their first performance since 2009?
Would that be Creed?
No, I'm sorry, Tim. Creed has not made a comeback.
Say read it again.
Sorry, Andrew Kingsley.
90s rock band
We love you, Andrew.
reunited for a tour that held their first performance since 2009.
90s rock band.
I've heard
Most
a
of the
little
90s rock bands, their lead singers are no longer
Yeah,
with us.
so-
It wasn't Nirvana.
bit. Think about who is still alive to have their band. I'll give you a hint. Couple brothers in this band.
Mumford and Sons?
No, but same side of the pond. Mumford and Sons weren't around.
Yeah, they were around in the
Oasis.
90s.
Oh, I was never a huge Oasis fan. Never liked Oasis.
Which band's concert kiss cam exposed an affair between a CEO and the company's chief police officer?
Yeah,
Who was that?
That was at a concert, Coldplay.
Coldplay.
concert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who won the men? Threw this in for Calvert. Who won the men's singles at Wimbledon this year?
Pete Sampras.
Oh, I got to get
Andre
this.
Agassi.
Oh, man.
It's the guy.
The
Janet
dude?
Sinner.
Oh.
Yannick.
Yannick. Did I say the last name correct?
You did say that. It's center. Yeah.
Sin-
Yeah.
Yannick.
Yannick
You
said-
totally
why-
shot the
That's
first
why you're
name,
Tim
but-
for the sports.
Yeah.
What two numbers went viral toward the end of the year with teenagers frequently saying
Next question.
99.
Next question.
6?
No. Next question. I'm gonna. No.
Who won the This one, I mean, it's too easy.
Mm-hmm.
Who won the Women's Rugby World Cup? I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, her.
That was
yeah.
the New Zealand
them.
it's a team.
ladies.
They.
England. England.
Oh, man.
What was the name of Taylor Swift's 12th studio album?
Who cares?
The Life of the Showgirl. Life of a Showgirl. Okay. Which world famous art gallery was robbed in October?
The Louvre.
Yes.
You gotta say Louvre.
We've been robbed.
mademoiselle.
Wasn't the password like password?
Somebody has stolen the jewels.
Password was password. How did they ever guess the password was password?
Hey,
Get those bed bugs out of here.
These fools have left the window open. Oh wait, that's not German. That's not.
No, that's
German.
We're going over the border to
Well,
Germany.
German was in France for a long time in the 40s. That was a holdover from 1942.
Anytime we can bring up France, we've got to work it in somehow.
We have not had enough French stories this year.
Who was elected the mayor of New York City November 5?
what was that guy's name?
Zippity Doodah Zamboni. No. Zoran Mamdani.
There
Yeah.
you go.
What was Oxford University Press's word of the year?
Awful.
Rage bait.
Oh, wow.
And that's it. Went out with a whimper, not a bang, but that's your 2025, folks.
Wow.
A quarter of a way through the century, and this is what we've become.
Idiots. A nation
Happy New Year.
of idiots. All right. So Patrick has had a very busy week. So I'm bringing a story in honor of Patrick because I think this is something, some of these he's probably felt and seen occur at his work. So these are 7 phrases that boomers, none of us are boomers. I'm not a boomer. You're right on the
I'm
edge
right
of
on the
boomer
edge,
Gen
yeah.
X.
Tim's
Yeah.
the silverback Gen X.
Yeah. So you've seen him with his shirt off too?
Well,
It's getting sort of gray back there.
So these are 7 phrases that boomers use as praise that Gen Z automatically interprets as criticism. And I just thought this was humorous. This list was pointed out to me and it made me laugh. Number 1, you're so articulate. Boomers evidently say this when they're genuinely impressed by someone's communication skills. Yet Gen Z apparently hears this and thinks the speaker had low expectations to begin with. I've never had someone say to me, "You're so articulate."
Is what years are Gen Z? Are they like late 90s, early 2000s? Is that
like our kids.
our kids? Okay.
Because the millennials are right after Gen X, right?
Right.
They're like 79, no, 80 to.
Are they
2000.
81 to 96 and then Gen Z is 97 to 2012? Does that
Sounds
sound
right.
right?
Sounds about
Sounds
right.
good.
Yep.
All right.
So I've never heard anyone say you're so articulate. Now I have heard this phrase from a boomer. You clean up nicely. Be honest, we see how Gen Z dresses, and a lot of time it does look like the pigeon lady from Home Alone 2, which I thought was a really
Yeah,
a
good
very good
reference.
reference. It says
That's
evidently,
a joke, though. I mean,
Yeah.
when people say that, they're always joking. Well, you clean up nice. It's
Well-
just one of those things people throw out there.
but it offends Gen Z supposedly,
No.
according to Not the Bee.
Bless their hearts.
This is the one that I think you probably get tired of people saying, Patrick, you're so tech savvy. Does that bother you? Do you feel offense with that?
I don't think so. I think it's more when they say that, but everyone can be tech savvy these days. I mean, you're walking around with
I'm not.
the most
no,
technology.
Patrick.
Yeah,
I just
you are.
can't do it.
You're
I
tech
can't
savvy.
do it.
I mean, I am looking at it, that
Yes,
article on my
right.
phone that I sent myself.
Yeah,
when I get one of those phones in my hand, my mind just goes blank.
you know, you
Well,
can't
that's because
good
you're
at
on
that.
Instagram too much.
now if you're posting to Facebook videos of you trying to figure out what you're doing on your phone,
Sure.
that's not tech
Yeah.
savvy.
Theoretically.
I
Not that that's ever happened.
I suspect it has a lot to do with things like kids helping their parents activate new phones and transfer their stuff. Look, these days they've made it so simple. I mean, I'm sure on Android it's the same, but when I get a new iPhone now, I just like hold them next to each other and wait 30 seconds, and the new phone is the same as the old phone. It's ready to go.
Yep. It's a little more than 30 seconds, but it's like when, sorry, mom and dad, I'm going to throw you under the bus here, but when they got a smart TV for the first time, trying to help them figure out how to log into Netflix or Disney, it was a little embarrassing.
Okay. Now,
least
hold
for
on.
me.
Hold on.
I'm not going to lie.
Hang on. I got to find a thing real quick. Hold on.
You would have
Just wait,
thought,
wait a second.
You would have thought that we were directing a nuclear sub across the Mariana Trench.
You know what really grinds my gears?
What grinds your gears?
I absolutely despise, with all but one fiber of my being, the way that these streaming services cannot figure out, for the love, how to make it easy to sign in on a TV that doesn't have a stupid keyboard.
Yeah.
Now let me just say,
Just take a picture of the QR code.
So hold on a second though. Not all of them do that.
That's right.
Okay.
And so some of them,
And they'll change it up.
yeah, some of them. So Hulu is one of these where you go to like hulu.com/TV setup or something like that. And there's a little code on the screen, and you can do all your sign in on the computer, which is fine and easy. And then it hooks up. But when I have to type in a password with the little 4-button arrow thing and the
their keyboard is in alphabetical order. That drives me
ABCD
insane. It should not be that way.
That makes me that makes me instantly go want to cancel my subscription to whatever I've got. Hate that.
That and the fact that every time I get a bill, they've gone up 5%.
Well,
That's getting on my nerves.
Shareholders, they demand more money.
That is true. All right. The last few phrases. You're mature for your age. See, I would take that as a compliment, but
that's an insult.
That's an insult. Oh, okay. I would have taken that as a compliment.
You're mature for your age. That means you're not mature, generally speaking, but for your age.
Little tyke.
Little.
Now
fella.
This one, maybe it's because I'm not mature for my age, so that's why I would take that as a compliment. But this one is, this is a direct insult. You're not like other millennials or Gen Xers. I mean, Gen Zers. That one would hurt.
Wait, they actually say you're not like other
millennials or Gen Zers.
What an oddly specific thing to say.
I've never had anyone say that
Me
to
either.
me, which I thought was weird.
Yeah.
Now, I have heard this one. Back in my day, we would have been grateful for that.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
But there's kind of a reason to say that.
There is sometimes. Yeah.
Because a little entitlement in the younger generations, perhaps.
Little may be an understatement.
Not a blanket.
No.
Not going to make a blanket statement.
No.
There are exceptions. Our children, of course, are
There may be. They're entitled.
a little bit.
And then the last one, good for you. Good for you. I don't know why I repeated it, but it just felt like it needed to be.
Seems appropriate to repeat it.
But good for you in what context?
I don't know. It just says good for you, ! So I probably should have been good for you. Good for you.
Yeah. I could see in a certain way, in a certain tone, that could be an insult.
Yeah.
Good
I got one. When I was first starting out in ministry, I was told, you're going to make a good preacher.
Which meant you weren't a good preacher.
Right. After I finish a lesson, you're going to make a good preacher. Or you're getting better every time.
So I should stop.
I was like, it was that bad, huh?
You should consider going into full-time work.
Yeah.
So you're saying I shouldn't say that to Eli.
Building houses. Or
Mr. Drew, what do you really do?
Yeah, that's the one that really gets me.
Now, what do you do for a living?
Yeah. I'm your preacher. No, I mean, for money. What do you get paid?
What's your real job?
To do? Believe it or not, they pay me to do this. As easy as it seems.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. I guess I need to stop going up to Eli and say, hey, man, every time you speak, you just get better and better.
Yeah.
It's probably
one
insulting.
day.
Eli, I didn't mean to insult you. I'm just trying to be.
These days.
I'm just trying to be an encourager.
You use words good.
so
pretty. Don't pretty.
Well, boys, before we take a quick break, I would like to give a shout out to some of my extended family who all sat around at Christmas and subscribed to our YouTube channel.
All right.
Oh, now that's
Yeah.
spectacular. How many listeners, subscribers are we to now?
Well, shout out to Aunt Cindy,
yeah.
who I don't know how much forcing went on, but convinced most of my cousins and others to subscribe while we were on break. So thank you all for subscribing. We're up to, would you like to take a guess?
I'm going 53.
That was the number I was going to say.
Yeah, that was,
A little high.
yeah, you're
Oh.
shooting a little
Shooting
too
for
high.
the moon.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Okay,
Yeah.
43.
We're at 46.
Okay.
So not bad, not bad.
It was only 7 off at 53.
Yeah, no, not
that's
bad.
We could be at 53 people. All
No.
50 of you listening
No
to this
question.
know someone
Yeah.
to tell someone else.
That's right. So yeah, hopefully next week when we go full color, we're going Technicolor, boys.
Mm-hmm.
Our subscriber count will skyrocket.
And if you
No
don't
doubt.
smash that subscribe button,
Smash it
next week Tim is going to club a baby seal.
on camera.
No, it's going to be a smoked salmon, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, quick break and we'll be back. Oh, that was a question. Was that?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
okay,
yes,
all right.
we'll come back.
Absolutely.
Yes, we will.
We'll come back.
Looks like I'm here again. Doesn't matter much to me. It's all in what you see. Sunshine and razor blades. Moonshine and long delays. I know it's overblown. I know it's gone and grown. I've seen it all decay. Doesn't matter anyway. Sunshine and razor blades. Moonshine and long delays. Blue skies on the grass, watching the time go past.
All right, we're back with. That did not work out well. We are
Said
back
that you
with
had-
our
it was like
passage
you had
this
two
evening.
hands.
Yeah.
Do it again.
Well,
What's
it's
that?
been a long time since I've done this. So
You got into my airspace.
Sorry.
all right, we are back with our passage tonight. This one comes from Robin Sharma. It reads, "Don't live the same year 75 times and call it a life." Don't live the same year 75 times and call it a life. Robin Sharma. I looked this guy up. I'd never heard of him before. He's a Canadian, kind of a self-help guru type, motivational speaker.
Alter ego to Peterson.
Perhaps. No, I haven't read anything else he's written, but this one is really good. And what it means in a nutshell is that a lot of us get into ruts and we keep doing the same thing over and over and over again every year. And the reason we brought this up tonight is first episode of the new year of 2026.
Right.
And New Year's resolutions are on a lot of our minds. We want to change things. We want the next year to be better than the last. All that, that's January talk. And then February comes and we're back in the rut. And ruts are what they are. You fall into them for a reason. They're deeply grooved behaviors that are really hard to climb out of. There's actual, I won't call them grooves, but there are neural pathways in your brain that are ruts. The physiology of the brain, if that's a word, is carved and rutted by our behaviors. And so there's a medical explanation why it's so hard to climb out of these and why we do the same thing 75 times. And, you know, I guess we can talk about why we do that and why we need to stop doing it. I don't know if you ever get to the point, though, that you're in a lifestyle that should be repeated over and over again. You know, there are numerous calls in the Bible to grow, which means don't do the same thing this year that you did last year.
So my first thought when I read this quote was, wow, this is really optimistic. 75 times. That's making it 75 years is going to be a bit of a challenge.
I thought about that too.
Yeah, that's a challenge, first of all. Then I thought of the movie Groundhog Day because it's replaying the same day over and over and over.
Which is a must watch, right?
It's a great
Passages
movie.
Endorsed.
It's
movie,
a great
right,
movie.
Tim?
Yeah.
And it's a good book.
You seen that one?
Hey,
in the theater.
It's a great recovery book or recovery movie too.
Really?
It's a really good book on recovery, or say book, but movie anyway. And then I thought of that old cliched definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting different results. And I think we are guilty of that because it's easier to do the same thing over and over than it is to try something new. I think most of us in this room don't handle change very well. We may fear change a little bit. So it's easy to stay in what's comfortable, but what's comfortable is not always what's best for you. I think sometimes we let what's comfortable keep us from living life and experiencing new things because of fear just in and of itself. I think I have had change over the last few years of my life, hopefully for the better. And it's been painful at times, but I'm learning to live life a little differently. I've learned to say no. And that's been a really big thing that has helped me not relive the same year 75 times. I was talking to someone this evening on a board I used to serve on, and they're having some problems. And I finally said, I dropped off this board about 6 months ago because I was tired of dealing with this kind of stuff. And it felt good to know that's not my problem anymore. And I would have worried about it. And now I hate they're going through that. But I don't have to worry. But you don't have to
go through it with them.
That's right. And so it's nice. I like this quote a lot.
You were talking about the physiology of the brain.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if I had made up a word or.
But no, physiology is a word.
Yeah.
But I think what you were describing is called neuroplasticity.
Right.
Did I say that right?
I was going to throw that out earlier, but I didn't want to come across as pretentious.
It's sort of anytime
obviously you don't mind.
Hey, anytime I can teach.
Drew, I believe what you were talking about is neuroplasticity.
Anytime I can teach Drew a new word is a good day.
Yeah, it is. You probably will use it out of context or with poor grammar, and you'll get a message about it later.
I will. But that is.
Wow. Why don't you say how you really feel?
That's one of his resolutions for this year.
To use words.
Use big words.
Use good word. Use words good.
Use those pretty words.
But neuroplasticity.
Plasticity.
You guys say neuroplasticity.
There you go. Is sort of that's what you were describing. It's the makeup of how your neurons and your brain cells kind of connect. And I'm sure there's someone listening.
Well, they're malleable. They'll
change. There's someone listening with a title doctor that's going to they're rolling their eyes right now. But
I think
when you talk about accurate. Can't teach old dog new tricks kind of thing, it's exactly what you're saying. It's someone has learned these habits and is in this, maybe not rut, but is in this is their routine and they don't want to change that. And when you do try to change it, you get into this whole, your brain sort of resists you with, sort of subconsciously, I guess you don't know it's doing it. And so, you get stuck in this, you might call sometimes depression. You get stuck in a low spot in life, or maybe you're doing something that's, I don't know, good for you. I mean, you can exercise too much, but maybe that's what you've trained your brain to expect and how it should work. And so it just keeps you going down that path. And
I think it's a lot like our brains are quite a bit like us and our personalities, in that the brain wants to do as efficient work as it can do. It wants to do it in the least amount of time with the least amount of energy. And so it creates, every new thing you do creates new neural pathways.
Mm-hmm.
If you're learning a new skill, you play guitar,
Yep.
you can do anything you put your mind at. We're just
Whatever.
bumps on a log over here.
No.
But when we learn new things, our brain is actively creating new neural pathways, and that requires a lot of energy. And so that's what gives us that subconscious fight against the need to change, or the desire to change, because our brains don't want to expend that much energy to do it. It'll do it, but that's why a habit takes so much time, is because you're building those pathways. As you're trying to learn a new skill, the more you practice, the more you strengthen those pathways, and you can change them. Your old pathways can go away and your new pathways can develop. But the way
it's like
we do that,
bushwhacking through new territory.
It is.
The trail is not there.
that's
You
right. It's
gotta-
uncomfortable. The brain
Yeah,
is
very.
uncomfortable with it, and it's activating different parts that it's not used before. And it's kind of like if you go to the gym and your muscles get sore because you hadn't been using those muscles for a while, you think, well, I'm not going to do that anymore. That hurts.
maybe that's called muscle
Which is why I'm
plasticity.
having to really watch what I eat right now, because I don't want to go to the gym and exercise. So I'm having to eat better.
Daniel Kahneman wrote a book called Thinking Fast and Slow. And he said, your mind has two systems. System one is autopilot. You're in that most of the time.
The lizard brain.
Yeah, it's the way God made us. If we had to think about every single thing we did, well, we'd be exhausted and we'd go crazy. So you don't think about tying your shoes. You've done that for years. Your system one is involved, and things are easy. It doesn't think much. It doesn't think deeply. Those are the ruts. System two is slower, deliberate. It takes a lot of effort. It's exhausting. And we fight that. So when you're trying to break a bad habit, you're trying to flip over to system two, and you're resistant to it because of the way God made you to help you in life. Those neural pathways are lit up, and they're fighting you because they're not getting the message right away that you're wanting to change. But if you keep fighting it and doing what's hard and exerting effort, you can break into new paths. And so you're not living the same year 75 times in a row. You're building a life for yourself.
Go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, one of the first things that that came to my mind when we shared this this quote was what we do here at Asheville Road. With every year and we've done this for 5, 6, 7 years, something like that. We have a theme for the year, and sometimes you just need a fresh way, a fresh approach, or a different thing you're focused on in a particular year. What we do every year, is not going to radically change from, one year to another, unless, we go through some big life change, right? I mean, change a profession, or, move somewhere else, or, get really a new start. There's a lot of things about what we do that are going to have a lot of similarity. And you may get rid of an old habit, pick up something new, develop a new skill. But the vast majority of our life is going to remain pretty stable. But a lot of times you need to think about it in a different way. And I think these themes that we choose for the church for the year have been helpful, because it does provide sort of a fresh way. At the end of the day, the church does the same work every year. We want to save the lost. We want to help one another go to heaven. We want to strengthen one another and edify one another. We have our, same ultimate goals that are God given. But what we've done over time, and I went and took a picture of Patrick's file cabinet with the that's what I'm looking at in front of me with the stickers, just for some of the examples. Maybe the first one was we said, be still, be present, be the church. We did 1 year that we called it devoted, cultivate 1 year, transform 1 year, fit together 1 year. And all of them had particular focuses, right? We're going to focus on internal growth 1 year. We are going to focus on, one of them was like, getting going again after COVID, and sort of some of the inherent damage that was done by COVID to our world and our relationships and our ability to, be together. And, but, looking at the same thing in different ways is a different approach. But, sometimes we just need to think about attacking our life from a different perspective. I'm going to work on, this year, I'm just going to work on my attitude about everything that I do every day. Well, my life may be exactly the same, but I can change that radically if I say, 2026 is going to be the year of attitude. And,
Yeah. Julie and I were talking about wanting to be more positive and look at things from a positive perspective. And so now we catch ourselves. We'll start to say something negative and we'll stop ourselves and try to spin it, and that's a rut. You get into complaining or criticizing, and it's hard to break out of. We're hoping that, we'll change our conversations, and the positive talk will be the new normal for us.
Sure.
I think sometimes we get in trouble too, because when we start thinking about changing how we're doing things in our life, we think about things that are out of our control. And there's a huge difference between the things that we have ability to control and change and things we don't.
Mm-hmm.
And I think sometimes we need to define, if you're trying to decide, what do I want to change in my life to do something better? You need to define, what are the things I can control? I can control if I can get up earlier. I can make more time for Bible study. I can make more time for friendships. If your New Year's resolution is something that is ultimately not in your control, you can't do anything about it. And you just end up banging your head against the wall and you feel defeated. So start with little things that are easy to change if you want to change them and gain momentum with it. And I had someone once tell me to try to do one new thing every week. Just something you've never done, just to push yourself. You may not like it. You may not ever do it again. But if you're not a reader, pick up a book and read. If you don't like playing card games, pick up cards and play a card game with your family. Do little things that you would normally not do, and you'll start finding there are things you enjoy doing that bring you happiness and fulfillment. And it's nice sometimes, but we get in those ruts,
and you won't do anything if you don't at least try.
If you don't try, yeah.
And that
doesn't mean you have to like what you're doing.
And that's not saying, sometimes I feel like, with our changes, we try to bite off too much, right? And it's like, for the remainder of my life, I'm going to spend an hour in Bible study every day. And it's like, okay, that's not where we need to start that.
Right.
How about let's just blow the dust off the Bible today? I mean, that's an easy start.
I'm never eating ice cream again.
Right.
Well, a personal example that came up here recently. So this year's, remind me of the theme this year, because I'm drawing a blank for Ashura. Seek. So
it's our theme in every other church in the state.
In the email that came out, talking about it in the email update, it said, and if you are serving at the Lord's Supper table, or you're serving as the head, we're going to give you a prompt, to help you focus your thoughts around this theme of seek. Well, as somebody who is very routine oriented and probably goes to a very similar discussion every time I head the Lord's Supper table, to me, I saw that as, oh no, I'm going to have to redo. And in reality, it's pushing me to grow and do something different. But my first thought was, I don't want to do this. This sounds dumb. But it's because it's different. It's not because it's a dumb idea.
Engage system 2.
It's a great idea. Yeah. I like it because we all get in the ruts. We all have similar things that we say repeatedly. If you know me, you know the phrases I say over and over again. Some just being obnoxious at times. But when I saw that in that first email, I read it and they announced it when they were talking about it that Sunday. I thought, well, this is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. That's the first thing that went through my mind. And then I started reflecting on it and I read it again and I thought, well, maybe this is a good idea because it is getting us on theme. And instead of me randomly pulling a scripture or trying to come up with something to say, this gives me direction and I shouldn't resist this. I thought that was that's just a real world example to this of me being stuck in the rut of the comfort.
That's on our website, huh?
They talk a lot about growth is uncomfortable and learn to be uncomfortable and get used to it and be happy being uncomfortable. And Drew, you talked about sort of the system 1, system 2. So you've got, and at work, they put they put us through leadership training. And one of the things they talk about is emotional intelligence. And inside of that, which when I hear the term EQ, I immediately roll my eyes, right? Because that's dumb.
I'm a zero.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Why do I need this?
Yeah.
But they started that particular class by explaining the sort of how the brain works in what you're talking about, the system 1 and 2. And I think after explaining it that way, because I'm a very concrete person, I don't deal in ephemeral things where you're talking about feeling. I don't have emotions. I do, but you know what I'm saying.
You're a robot. I knew.
I'm a robot. Yeah. But they talk about how like your brain stem is your reptilian brain. It's the one that controls your heart beating, your breathing, things you don't have to think about, fight or flight. And it's also the one that gets all of your sensory input first. So, when you're talking, when you first heard about this Lord's Supper plan, your brainstem immediately went, nah, we don't need that.
Yep.
Next.
Dumb idea.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they talk about how from your brainstem, and I know this is like way oversimplification, but it makes sense. It made sense to me. If you can give your prefrontal cortex, which is where system 2 lives in the front of your brain, the furthest away from your brainstem, if you can give it a minute to get the stimulus, and I think I've talked on an episode before about getting to your second thought.
Yep.
And getting to your second thought is how I summarized what they were trying to teach us of, you've got your first thought, which is really a fight or flight, right? That's stupid. I don't need that. That's really a fight or flight response that your reptile brain is just trying to move on. I don't need that to live. I don't need that to survive. And I'm not, or am I in danger from it kind of thing, right? But if you give the front of your brain a minute or, milliseconds or whatever it is, but if you give it a minute and get to that second thought, then what you're talking about of do something new. Your first
is no.
Right. Your first thing is, nah, I want to sit on the couch and vegetate, but maybe I need to go outside and go for a walk and get my 10,000 steps in.
Yep.
And your front part of your brain knows that's like the rational part, not just the instant, get me out of here thought. And that made that whole thing make a lot more sense to me. And while, I don't necessarily always buy into the touchy feely parts of that emotional intelligence stuff. I get the whole get to your second thought, because you don't want to look anybody in the face and go, nah, that's dumb.
Yeah.
If you give yourself a minute, you'll figure out.
No, it's actually
maybe
wise.
It's not so bad.
What you just said reminds me of a Viktor Frankl quote that we talked about in here, that between stimulus and response lies a space, and in that space is our power to choose our response. And that response is in that
is a
space.
Good tie-in.
It's just in there. It's kind of that
the
idea
space is
of
getting it to the front of your brain.
It's kind of that idea of hitting a pause and just giving yourself time to let your prefrontal cortex kick in and get out of the limbic system.
You guys are using big words.
Well, we're pretentious like that.
I mean, I heard ephemeral,
Plasticity.
limbic.
I do like how he said he's not one that lives in the ephemeral, but he has brought more poems than anyone in this room.
He sure has.
But I don't understand them a lot of the time. We have to talk through them. And we usually get to a concrete section of them.
That is true.
Yeah.
Well, good talk. Good talk. You guys talk.
I just
purty.
hope we make it 75 years.
75
I would
would
love
be good.
75.
Let's see, if we get, let's say 40
not do the
episodes
math.
a year and 70.
Don't do the math.
If we do 75,
depressing.
Tim's got like
I got
5 more
Got
years.
5 more.
Not 15. See, 15 times. 40.
Mercy.
We're not getting
Don't
any
do
younger.
this.
All right. Well, let me go back to an earlier segment here and just we can wrap this thing up.
Okay.
I'd like to talk for just a second about clocking it and standing on business.
Okay.
Okay.
So the clock it you had right of, hey, pay attention, clock it.
Clock
Look
it.
at this.
Clock it. Mhm.
Still don't understand why it's clock it and
I don't either.
why
That's
they-
one of the ones that the Gospoderic kids taught me.
Yeah.
Clock it.
Mhm.
And then standing on business is I'm being very serious right now.
Oh.
So
Hmm.
when the Beebs said, clock it, I'm standing on business.
He's like, pay attention.
Pay attention. I'm being dead serious right now.
It would have been better if he'd just said, pay attention. I'm being dead serious now.
Maybe so.
Because
But
half the population wouldn't have been scratching, over half, the baby boomers'
Yeah.
biggest portion of the population wouldn't have been scratching their heads going, what is this fool talking about?
Mm.
yeah. Well, if we can clock it and stand on business for a minute, next episode, guys, is some serious
It's going to be a big
business.
deal.
Yeah.
It's going to be a big deal.
I don't know if you know this, we're kind of a big deal.
We're kind of a big deal.
Let's go over it. So, first video podcast in the history of the podcast.
Yep.
Live music. A recap of
We have a couple
our
of
favorite
guests
episodes.
coming in to give us a little quiz.
Have some guests planned. Don't know quite how many, but 2 special young ladies have agreed to join us. What am I leaving out? I mean, that's enough.
We're going to
bring you back
revisit
for the next
Did
episode.
you say revisit some of our favorite episodes?
We're going to talk about favorite episodes.
We should all be here.
It'll be fun.
We're not going to be playing the Missing Man Formation song,
Mm-hmm.
Health permitting.
health permitting. Yeah.
We may all
everyone
come
needs to
out
go-
with the flu. And
I took
Everyone
a
needs
bunch
to go
of-
into quarantine for the next week.
Well, I took a bunch of I'm on antibiotics and I took a bunch of steroids, and that's how I'm getting through the night tonight.
I noticed there's less coughing tonight
yeah.
from Jason's part of the table. That was
Yeah.
nice.
It's kind of nice when you actually start feeling normal again.
Yeah. Well, it's been a wild ride, guys. 99.
Bring on 100.
Looking forward to it. And I hope that you'll hang in there with us as well. So join us next time, episode 100 on Passages.